Okay, guys, I want to take a look at your week 4 assignment, your currency conversion design assignment. This is a big assignment that's worth 90 points of your grade this week. So I want to make sure that everything in this assignment is clear, and I want to go over all the different elements. So first, let's take a look at Appendix A, and this was mentioned at the very beginning of this class. In this appendix is basically about your final project, your overview of your final project, and that's what all of these 90-point assignments are based on. Is this Appendix A? Okay. I know it's not in the material section of your classroom. That's why I posted it to the main forum. If you look in the main forum, there's going to be a thread saying Appendix A here. You guys need to download this because this is basically the requirements for all of these 90 points assignment, right? Is listed right here. These are the currencies that you guys need to be able to convert in this assignment. So make sure you download Appendix A and you either print this off or have this handy because this is what the program's supposed to do right here. Okay, and what are we doing right now? We're basically working on the design. We're working on the second aspect here. And if you scroll down in Appendix A here, we're looking at this guy right here, right? Week 2, we worked on the requirements, and you guys did fairly well on that. But now in week 4, we're working on the actual design, okay? So have Appendix A handy so that you guys can always look back and see, you know, what is this application supposed to do? It's supposed to convert, you know, the U.S. currency, or I'm sorry, it's supposed to convert foreign currency to U.S. currency using this table right here, okay? So that's Appendix A. Okay, now let's look at the actual instructions for your week 4 assignment here. It wants you to complete a hierarchy chart, which is part of the design process, right, using Appendix H, and it wants you to complete a flow chart, which is in Appendix I. Okay, and it wants you, you know, to kind of base the answers that you have here on your IPO chart that you generated in week 2, and I've given you guys feedback on that, so you guys should know. You guys should be able to do this. Okay, so let's take a look at Appendix H, right? And this Appendix H corresponds to this part of the rubric right here, your hierarchy chart. Okay, so let's take a look at Appendix H, and let's see. So for Appendix H, hang on. Okay, so for Appendix H here, this is the template that basically I want you guys to give me one Word document with all the information that's in the appendices here. So, you know, don't fill out each one of these appendices and have 3 Word documents that you submit to me. Just have one Word document, go into Appendix H here, you know, copy and paste this into your appendix, and go in and fill in the hierarchy chart. Okay, and you guys should know how to do this by now because we've had a couple assignments on this. This top one is basically at the highest level. You know, what does this application do? Right? That's what this guy is. Okay. So this isn't just one of the steps. This is at the highest level. What's the most general kind of label that you can give this application? Okay. These four here are what are the steps that are required in order to have an application that does this. Okay. And this is kind of a clue here. This is basically saying in order, you know, for this assignment, there's basically 4 different tasks that need to be created in order to do this assignment, and that's a good thing, right? There's programs out there that take 50 different subsystems in order to make it work. Here they're giving you an application that only requires 4. Okay, so you know, big sigh of relief there. You only have 4 subsystems that are needed in order to do this. Okay, and I can't tell you guys what these things are because that would be doing the assignment for you. Okay, there's in your reading material, it goes over hierarchy charts and kind of what is required within these guys. So go over your reading material and then look at Appendix A, see what the application is supposed to do, and I need you guys to go in and fill this out. Okay, copy and paste that to your Word document. That's Appendix H. What's the next thing that's required? Your flowcharts in Appendix I, okay? And that is this part of your rubric. This is worth 30 more points. So let's open up Appendix I. Let's take a look at that. Okay, and here what they did was they've actually given you probably half the elements to each one of these flowcharts, and they want you to go in and fill in the missing parts here. Okay, this is for your main module, right? For your main control. Okay, and a couple of things that I want you guys to notice here is we have a begin and we have an end, right? The reason the end isn't at the bottom like it normally is because once you get down to this last step here, look at this arrow. It's actually, looping back up to whatever this top state is. And so what you have here is your iterative control structure. Okay, that's kind of a hint. Okay, so remember that excuse me, flowcharts always translate directly to pseudocode. So if you guys are seeing a loop like this, that's telling you that in the main module you need to have some sort of iterative control structure that can loop through all of these states. Okay, that's the beauty of flowcharts, is that they translate directly to pseudocode. Okay, so if you guys can correctly fill out all these flowcharts, now all of a sudden you just have to translate it to pseudocode and you're done. Okay, because that is the third part of the assignment, and we'll go over that in a second. So please complete your main module flowcharts here. Okay, and now this isn't it though, so I need you guys to scroll down. There's another flowchart here, and this is the display menu portion. Okay, this is the display menu part of the assignment, and you've got some blank states here that they want you to figure out and add those in. And again, if you can, please copy and paste all of this to one Word document, okay, including the other appendix. And then here there's a third flowchart called get int value. Excuse me. Get int value is basically get integer value. And that's kind of mislabeled because we're dealing with currencies here, so I would rather they called this get float value, but you know what, whatever. The makers of this assignment decided to call it get int value. And this get int value here is basically how you obtain the foreign currency amount from the user, right? Using this logic, okay? And you need to go in and figure out what are these states here that will allow you to obtain this foreign currency from the user, right? And then we have the last one. No, excuse me, one more. And now we have a convert currency module. So each one of these flowcharts is a module. That should help you out with the hierarchy chart. Just to kind of clue you in here, you've got a display menu, you've got a get int value, which I wish they would call that get currency value, and now we have a convert currency, another module, and you see a bunch of conditional logic here, right? And each one of these conditions, what do you do if the currency is Canadian? There's a particular step here that you need to fill in. What do you do if it's English? Do this. Well, there's several other currency types that you guys need to come in and fill in here. And once you have these, once these states occur, you come down and it actually calculates the U.S. value, based on this information. And they're giving you a hint here with this bottom state. So, I really need you guys to look at the entire flowchart as a whole. And a lot of times, they put extra information in here like this and this to give you clues as to what this should be and this should be and this should be. Okay, it should be fairly straightforward. Okay, so there's a convert currency module, and then the last module is display results. Okay. And they help you out a little bit here, but you need to come in and fill in all of these guys, okay? And so that's all of your flowcharts, okay? And so I need you guys to copy and paste all these flowcharts to your Word document and make sure that you fill in the required states, okay? That's worth 30 points. That's in Appendix I, okay? So what's the last part of the assignment? Well, the last part of the assignment is pseudocode. I need to see pseudocode. That's worth 30 points. You guys have gotten pretty good at writing pseudocode here lately, you know, but others of you I think are still a little confused, and I want to clear up that confusion. For the pseudocode, I created a nifty little pseudocode building blocks document that I posted to the main forum, and it looks like this. I need you guys to download this document and print it or have it up on the screen while you do this assignment, because this is basically the pseudocode keywords here, all of them that are in bold. These are the pseudocode keywords here that you need to use in order to write the pseudocode. But the good thing is there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. Okay, you can write this entire program using these 10, just 10 of them, these 10 pseudocode keywords. Okay, and the other important thing I want you guys to see is that each pseudocode keyword has a very specific syntax that you need to follow, which is why I give you so many examples. You know, after each of these pseudocode keywords, I need you guys to look at these examples and follow the syntax exactly. Okay, and I also kind of give anything you see in brackets here are what's called parameters to the pseudocode. These parameters need to be correct. Okay, you can't just leave out a parameter, or you can't just give some arbitrary value to these parameters. These parameters need to be very specific, and I give examples on how to use you know, all of these pseudocode keywords. Okay, so definitely print off the pseudocode building block document and get to know these pseudocode building blocks really well. And you can write probably 95% of the applications out there with these simple 10 pseudocode keywords. Okay, and that's why I want you guys to get really familiar and really good with all of these different pseudocode keywords. Okay, and that's about it. I mean, that is your currency conversion design project, and I've basically pointed out what I'm expecting for all 3 parts of this. It's worth 90 points of your grade, so I really need you guys to invest time and to sit down and really think about this. If you want, you can always email me a rough draft of it, and I can provide feedback. I can't provide the answers, but I can provide feedback as far as what looks good and what doesn't. But I think you guys can do this. I just really need you guys to spend the time to do it, and do it early, and ask questions. Okay, and that's it. So I look forward to receiving your submissions, and again, just let me know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.